In this video, I'm going to share 5 things you must give up to raise your vibration. Now, raising our vibration is going to level our life up because your energy creates your reality. So when you operate in the higher frequencies, in these higher energies, you're going to create a much more amazing, positive reality for yourself. But this is also when you can actually attract in magical experiences into your life. When you start aligning with the universe, because you've raised your vibration, that is when magic just starts happening in your life. So we're going to get straight into it. Number 1 is you must let go of toxic relationships. You become the energy that you surround yourself with. So if you're around negative, unsupportive people, it's time to distance yourself and set boundaries. And when you let go of these toxic relationships, it allows you to create more room in your life for uplifting and nurturing relationships to come in. So it's really important to protect your energy. And I want to share one of my own examples of this. I unfortunately had to cut out a family member for their toxic behavior. And what was really happening was this person would, be negative or be unsupportive in some type of way to where it would upset me. I'd get mad and then not want to speak to them. So I'd cut them out of my life. After some time went by, I ended up forgiving them and letting them back in. And then things were good. And then that person did something else again, another, negative, toxic behavior that would then make me mad. So I'd cut them out of my life again. Didn't speak to them for a long period of time. Then I would forgive them, let them back in, and the cycle would just go round and round and round. The problem that I realized that I wasn't doing that I should have been doing was I needed to set boundaries. I was forgiving and allowing them back in without setting the boundaries. And that's why this cycle keeps happening. And I realized I don't have the time and energy for this. I'm focused on building a business. I don't have time for petty, low vibe behavior. My whole mindset was I'm getting off the merry-go-round. I'm not going round and round with you anymore. So I've cut them out of my life, but I haven't had the right opportunity to set the boundaries with that person. So I'm sort of waiting for the opportunity to do that and just tell them look, this is not okay and I'm not going to tolerate this. And then hopefully we can rekindle some type of relationship from there because it is a family member. But yeah, this is just an example of mine of why it is really important to distance yourself from toxic people. It just brings you down. Now, my second tip, or the second thing that you must give up, is negative self-talk. Your inner dialogue shapes your reality. When you constantly criticize yourself or doubt yourself, it lowers your vibration. Now, realize this, that negative inner critic is a program. It is not who you truly are. So, I recommend that you start practicing self-compassion and speaking to yourself the way you would someone you love. It's funny because it's so easy to beat ourselves up. If we make a mistake or we do something wrong, I'm not good enough, and we start beating ourselves up. Yet, we would never speak to a friend like that. So start speaking to yourself or treating yourself with love in the same way that you would treat your friend. Because you deserve to be treated with love. And if you commit to practicing self-compassion and speaking positively to yourself, over time what will happen is you will actually rewire your brain and reprogram your subconscious mind because that inner critic is just a program. And when you start making the effort to have these new thoughts, you think more positive thoughts or loving thoughts about yourself, and you're treating yourself with that self-compassion, you start firing and wiring new neurons in the brain. And cells that fire together wire together. So if if you commit to doing this every day, repetition is the key. You just keep firing and wiring those same neurons. Eventually, they're going to hardwire. And it's going to become a new subconscious program where you'll naturally just have these positive self-talk. So that's what I highly recommend you to do to kind of just get rid of that negative inner critic. My third tip, or my third thing that you must give up, is holding on to the past. When you hold on to past experiences, whether it's guilt, shame, or resentment, you're energetically stuck. So letting go of the past will allow you to move forward and vibrate at a higher frequency. We all have past wounds or, past hurts that we're carrying around, like emotional baggage that we're all carrying around that weighs us down, that brings us into these lower frequencies, and it's really just not serving us. And so it energetically frees you when you can let that shit go and leave it in the past. And I know all about this because I was that sort of person that I held a grudge towards my own family for over 10 years. I had a lot of anger and resentment because of, things that happened in childhood. I was physically and emotionally abandoned by my dad. I was emotionally abandoned by my mum. I was, bullied by my older brother. I suppressed a lot as a kid. I was emotionally disconnected from everyone. And that caused me to suppress so much that I became such an angry person. And I had a lot of hurt and pain I was carrying around. And I just held on to a grudge towards my family for over 10 years. And I was such an angry person. Very angry. When I went through the whole healing process, the forgiveness process, I learned to forgive my family and let it go. I became energetically free. It instantly raised my vibration. It's almost like it permanently shifted my vibrational set point up a level. And in order to get to that place to forgive and let go, it helps to reframe what happened. So everything in life is neutral. There's no built-in meaning. It's you that gives things meaning. And when something negative happens to us, we usually give it a negative meaning. And we tell the story that we're this victim. And the meanings you give things controls your emotional state. So if you give something a negative meaning, it's going to cause you to have negative emotions. So when you revisit these past hurts, you can choose to change the meaning that you gave it and give it a positive meaning. And you do that by looking for how this situation served you. There is a gift in every negative experience because the negative experience is trying to teach you something. There's a lesson in it for you to learn. And so you look for the gift. Oh man, this is what it taught me. This is what I learned from it. This is what I got out of it, so that you can change the meaning. You can reframe it, give it a positive meaning because this served me in this type of way. The positive meaning causes you to have positive emotions, and that makes it easier to just let it go. It also helps using Dr. David Hawkins' letting go technique to clear out the emotional baggage because we've all got suppressed emotions in the body. And, we can have suppressed emotions from our past experiences. So by using the letting go technique, you're able to clear this emotional baggage out. And what the letting go technique is it's where you accept the negative emotion. When you have a negative emotion come up, you accept it. Because we don't actually accept it, we resist them. You accept it and you just allow the emotion to be there, be present with it, observe it. And what ends up happening is the emotion will basically run its course because you're allowing it to, and then it clears itself out, so it's no longer stored in the body, and then it leaves you feeling uplifted and more high vibe. He even says the letting go technique is the key to enlightenment, and so it's a really great technique to, just clear out that emotional baggage that keeps you linked to the past. So I highly recommend it's a very powerful step to let all your past shit go. Now, my fourth thing that you must give up is complaining and blaming. When you complain or blame others, you give away your power. You shift into a victim mentality, and that keeps you in the negative low frequencies. The ego loves to play the victim, but it's also the ego that keeps us in those low frequencies. And so instead of complaining and blaming and playing the victim, the key is to take responsibility for everything that's going on in your life, because you are the creator of your reality. And we know this because of quantum physics and neuroscience. It's proving that we are creating our own realities. And when you're playing the victim, you disempower yourself. So by taking responsibility, that's you taking your power back. And again, look at situations like any negative situation that's going on in your life. Instead of viewing it as this is happening to me, you view it as this is happening for me. It's serving me in some type of way. It's trying to teach me something. There's a lesson in it for me to learn, and that's how you evolve and grow as a person. If you have a victim mindset and you see yourself as a victim, you believe you're a victim, what will happen is you're going to attract in more situations in your life where you are a victim. So it doesn't serve you. And I would also suggest replace complaining and blaming with gratitude. Gratitude is a freaking game changer. It's a high vibe frequency, and when you start practicing daily gratitude, you're going to rewire your brain. You're going to realize life's actually pretty good. I've got a lot of things to be grateful for. I have a lot of blessings. And that will help shift you out of that victim mentality. Now, the last one, number 5, is the need to control everything. When you try to control everything in your life, it creates stress and resistance, which keeps your energy low. When you try to control everything, you're sending a message to the universe that you don't trust the process, and so this resistance will keep you in the lower vibrations. Now again, it's the ego that likes to control. It's the ego that doesn't know how to trust the universe and just go with the flow of life. The ego thinks it knows better. Now, what helps me with this is just using practices like meditation or mindfulness to get me out of the ego mind, grounded into the body and connected to the heart. When you use practices to get yourself out of the ego or to dissolve the ego, it instantly raises your vibration. And then you don't have that need to control because you're not operating from the ego mind, you're operating from the heart instead. And so think of it also like a river. When you're trying to control from the ego, it's like swimming upstream. You're not really getting anywhere and you're wasting a lot of fucking energy. But when you just relax and go with the flow of the river, you end up in some amazing place and you're not tired from wasting all this energy. So go with the flow of life, trust the process, and use practices that get you out of that ego mind, because again, it's the ego that keeps us in the negative, low frequencies. If you got some sort of value out of this video, let me know by hitting the like button or write a comment. It also helps the video to get pushed out to more people, and it'd be awesome if this video could reach more people so I can help more people. Like you're helping me, which will then help others, but you also don't have to. I'm not really phased. Anyways, if you like this sort of content, subscribe. And if you want to watch another video on raising vibration, I will just link one here for you. Have an awesome day. Peace.